Radio WRVA, the voice of Virginia.
Start with us and win the day.
This is Richmond's Morning News with Rich Herrera on News Radio WRVA.
All right, 6:33 this morning on News Radio WRVA. My name is Rich Herrera. Thank you for spending time with us on this Thursday. So, have you felt like you're a little crazy? Have you felt like you're a little out of touch? Have you looked to see the way that the state is going? Have you looked to see what's coming out of Capitol Square? We talk about it every morning here on Richmond's Morning News, but I'm going to be very candid with you. There's times where I feel like I'm trying to drink out of a fire hose while juggling chainsaws. I feel like there's times where I'll walk away after the morning show. I'm like, am I crazy? Am I the only one who sees this? There's times where I'll wake up in the middle of the night and go, what is going on? I mean, this is my job. I think about this 24/7. You've heard Super Dave say that I never turn it off. So I'm going to go on vacation next week. I really need to go on vacation and just get away for a little bit, reset. But there's times I watch the news and I listen to the calls, I read the text messages. I'm like, if I lost my mind, do I live in the bizarro world? And I'm sure there's times where you read the newspaper. Those of you that watch cable TV, there's times where you're like, I don't understand what's going on in this world. This country's gone crazy. But then I remember, and I tell you this all the time, and nobody wants to hear it, but I think it's something that needs to be said. As a conservative, you are now counterculture. Now, I say this, it brings up everybody's hackles. How dare you say that? I'm not some dope smoking hippie wearing a tie-dye shirt saying free love. No, that's not what I mean. If you look back at the counterculture revolution in the 1960s, culture was controlled by academia, the media, entertainment. They're the ones who kind of show you what culture is. They reflect our cultural values. The counterculture was they were against everything. They were against the man. They were against the establishment. They were anti everything in American life. Now, fast forward to 2026. When I say we're counterculture, let me ask you these questions. Who controls academia? The left. Who controls the media for the most part? The left. Who controls Hollywood? The left. Who controls music? The left. Who controls television? The left. The left reflects our culture, and our culture right now is leaning center left. So as conservatives, we run counter to where the culture is going. I don't like where the culture is going, but we lean counter to where they're going. Therefore, we are counterculture. But then you think to yourself, because we're counterculture, you watch television or you listen to music or you go to the movies. Like, this whole world doesn't make any sense to me. Where are these values coming from? What's going on right here? And then I come to work today and I see the polls coming out in Virginia from VCU, from the Douglas Wilder School of Government and Public Affairs. And I get a little bit, just a touch of sanity back in the world, because we've screamed about this for the last 6 months. This Commonwealth is becoming California. This California thing that we have, this wave coming over of all the bad ideas, and I've been screaming at the top of my lungs, please do not CA my VA. Please do not make this wonderful Commonwealth of Virginia like the hellscape of California with bad, progressive, liberal ideas, horrible governance, and a lack of leadership. I've been screaming that for the past 6 months. You probably get tired of me talking about don't see my VA. But seriously, for me, it's a warning. Because if you're not careful, that's what's going to happen. And we're already starting to see a lot of this stuff that they've tried in California that's failed, but somehow, just like the Democratic Socialists of America, we just didn't do it the right way in California. We'll do better here. Just like Zoran Mamdani can stand there with his big grin and go, I know communism's not worked anywhere else, but it'll work in America, which is always their rallying cry. But then when I come in and I see these polls that have come out today, it says, you know what? I'm not crazy. I'm not insane. And other people see what I see. It's just buried so far in our media, our news, our social media, all the rest of this. You think you're the only one who feels that way, but I will tell you right now, you're not. Because here's what this poll came out from VCU, and again, this is the Wilder School of Government and Public Affairs. It said the majority of Virginians do not approve of how the governor has done her job. I'll repeat that. The majority of Virginians do not approve of Abigail Spanberger's job as governor, and it's only been 6 months. She won by double digits. She won in a landslide over Winsome Earl-Sears. She had all the momentum. She got a huge majority inside the General Assembly. She had everything she wanted and everything she can ask for and all the momentum in the world, and the entire world was looking at her. She was on Stephen Colbert's show. They're having the Democrats do throw parties and dances in her honor because she was going to be the next face of that Democratic Party. Then the reality of being the governor comes to fruition. This is what Douglas Wilder said. The governor is beginning to experience the realities of governing. The honeymoon appears to be over. And that's exactly what's happening right now. So all the smiles and the campaign and the platitudes, and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. Folks, remember, she was the Democrat poster child for where the party was going. She gave the response to the president's State of the Union address. It doesn't get a bigger stage than that. She was the one that they pin their hopes on, and they go, hey, listen, just saying, this person might have what it takes to run for the Oval Office. We've heard those whispers forever. But already in 6 months in Virginia, she's underwater in her poll. 44% of the registered voters approve of the job she's doing as governor, while 47% disapprove. 9% say they're not sure. For someone who won as big as Abigail Spanberger did, that's not good. That's not good in any way, shape, or form. So guess what? The people of this Commonwealth of Virginia have figured this out. The people of the Commonwealth of Virginia have figured all of this out. And they've seen very quickly how her governance, her leadership, in many ways, I say lack of leadership, the way the state has gone with the budget and these gun bans, and what else can I throw out there? Everything that all of their pipe dreams that they came up with has actually gone completely the wrong way as far as the majority of the people in this Commonwealth. When 47 disapprove versus 44 approval and 9% say they're not sure, that tells you something really, really quick, that this governor has lost the direction of the Commonwealth of Virginia. Let me throw one more number out there for you. 47% say Virginia is headed in the wrong direction. Now, here's the big tell for me. Remember, 44% said, yeah, we like the job the governor's doing. Okay? Let me throw this out there for you. 44 said, yeah, we like the job that she's doing. But when asked, is the governor doing a great job, there's a little difference between the direction the Commonwealth is going. And only 39% think that we're going in the right direction. That's a big tell right there. That's a huge tell right there, that you have people that personally like her, but they don't like the way that she's leading this Commonwealth. That means that's even scarier for her. Remember, this is a governor that won 57% versus just 42% for Winsome Earl-Sears. She won by 15%, and now she's underwater by 3%. That's an 18% swing. If you want to look at what she won by and where she is right now, that's a huge swing for someone who won a landslide, ran away with it, versus Winsome Earl-Sears. And the people of this Commonwealth are looking up and like, what in the world happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. She ran as a moderate, and she's governing like a progressive liberal. She ran as someone who said, I'm the most bipartisan person there was in Congress, and I'll reach across the aisle. And then she got behind the redistricting that said, I'm going to wipe out the Republican Party in Virginia for the next 2 decades. She said one thing, and she's done another, and the people of Virginia have recognized it. So if you're sitting here watching us today on YouTube or you're listening, folks, you're not crazy. It's just you have to go out and find this information out, but you're not alone thinking the state of Virginia, the Commonwealth of Virginia, is going in the wrong direction. You see it, I see it, and now this poll tells us the rest of the Commonwealth sees it. You want to comment? 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. Now, the big question is, will she triangulate and become more the person that she ran as, or will she continue to drift to the left, and will she continue to let the General Assembly turn Virginia into California before our very eyes? I felt the whiplash. I felt this car crash coming. I thought it was the only one. This poll restores my faith in the Commonwealth. The people see we're going in the wrong direction. So for those of you that listen to me every morning on Richmond's Morning News, we're not alone. Number for you to text into the program, 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. That's the James River Air text line. We'll continue with you. It is 6:45.